Hello everyone, and welcome to another Galaxy of Heroes video. In this video I'm trying to give a quick rundown on the Galactic Legend Jabba kit, so you don't have to spend time reading it. These kits are extremely complicated now. They take forever to read. It's like a little book, and when you read through it's hard to make sense. So I'm going to try to do as quick as I can, starting with the leadership, going with the uniques, and then go through his abilities, because I think that's a better flow to feel what he actually does. So Jabba's leadership. Basically it grants speed, mastery, health, 30% or 30 of each, which is pretty standard for GLs. Although allies also get 30% damage reduction, and this stacks with Jabba's GL ability for him, so he gets reduced by 60%, I believe. And other Hutt cartel allies get 4 stacks of a special buff called My Kind of Scum. I'm just going to refer to it as a special buff from now on. And it's based on their roles, bounty hunter, smuggler, Hutt cartel. But it doesn't stack for each tag that they have to qualify for that. And also, enemies with thermal detonators heal at a 50% rate. It says based on abilities, or healing abilities do that. So I'm not sure if that applies to health steal or not. But enemies with thermals heal slower. And then for the contract, basically just got to damage enemies with thermals 20 times, and it's automatically granted in raids, which is kind of cool. As far as the payout, the whole team gets 25% defense penetration, offense, and potency. Then allies with this special buff get 55% mastery for each stack, and then recover 20% protection on their turn. Jabba himself gets an extra 40% mastery, and then his ultimate charge rate doubles for the rest of the battle, the rate at which he gets it. And then Jabba's first unique, it makes sure that allies always start the encounter. This counts as waves in TB, but also just second battles in GAC and TW. They start the encounter with their cooldowns refreshed. So if you're going in again after losing in GAC or TW, their cooldowns will not be on cooldown. Also, it allows Jabba to ignore taunt. Jabba dispels stealth from all enemies passively on his turn. And then allies dispel stuns on themselves and get offense up instead. So they're not immune to stun, but they will dispel stun and get offense up instead. Pretty nice. And then when enemies generate or get TM, it generates TM for Hutt cartel allies once per turn, so they get 7%. And then when Hutt cartel allies lose turn meter, they get 20% protection up until their turn starts. The Galactic Legend ability, pretty standard, doesn't change for anything. They also have a third unique large character, just means you can't use the ally slot, and you can't have a summon. Not really going to come into play very often. Next thing to look at is the basic ability. So this basic ability calls the weakest Hutt cartel ally to attack, which does 10% more damage for each Hutt cartel ally. And then bounty hunter and smuggler allies also get protection up for 2 turns, 10%. On Jabba's turn only, he'll inflict blind on the target. The weakest Hutt cartel ally recovers 30% protection. Hutt cartel allies get 30% protection up for 2 turns, and that's it. So pretty good basic, kind of passively doing damage to a teammate. And then as far as his first special, it does a couple things. It cleanses the whole team, and it inflicts speed down on all enemies. Hutt cartel allies get hired muscle buff, which is a pretty convoluted buff, and it does a few things based on roles. Attackers assist when an ally does any ability, but only once per turn, so it's kind of like Geonosians for attackers. Tanks can't be critically hit, that's simple. Support and healers, they heal allies for 10% health protection when they attack. And then when hired muscle expires, you get a buff based on your role. Bounty hunters get defense penetration up, smugglers get speed up, and Hutt cartel get advantage, all for 2 turns each. And then Jabba's second special, it's irresistible all abilities. It dispels all buffs on the target only, deals special damage to them, and inflicts buff immunity for 2 turns. Also, all enemies get a thermal detonator, and then an extra thermal detonator for every 20% of ultimate charge that Jabba actually has. And I'm getting into the ultimate charge at the end for his ultimate ability description. And then thermals from this ability, the second ability, Crumb's Revenge, kind of funny. When they expire, they grant mastery to the whole team at a rate of 2%, so that just stacks up. And then the last but not least is his ultimate.
Hello there.
Like and subscribe.
This ultimate is charged 3% when allies with my kind of scum either start their turn or use an ability. So when Lei is attacking out of turn, it's generating ultimate. And then also 6% is charged when Jabba uses a basic on his turn, which is doubled after his payout, all forms of ultimate charge. As far as the attack itself, it's an Annihilate on a non-Galactic Legend. It heals everyone fully, 100% health protection, no cleansing though. And then grants 50% turn meter for everybody. And he doesn't change his state, so it's not a transformative ultimate like others. It's just basically an attack, a very good attack. On Galactic Legends and Raid bosses, it's different. For Galactic Legends, they dispel everything on them, inflict armor shred, inflict damage, stun all other enemies, which can't be resisted. And then on Raid bosses, I deal true damage of 30% of Jabba's health, and Jabba's health 5 times, and stun all other enemies. So yeah, that's the majority of his kit. There's a couple of interesting clauses, which are quasi territory battle Omicrons without the Omicron. And thank goodness there's no Omicrons on him, because to me that's below the standing of a Galactic Legend. So in his leadership, there's a clause that says at the start of the encounter, which is basically after wave 1 for all intents and purposes, Jabba's team gets undispellable crit damage up, offense up, and damage immunity for 2 turns. It can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So that's going to come into play in the new territory battle only. It doesn't apply to the first encounter. And then in his unique 1, everyone starts the encounter revived at 60% health and protection. This doesn't apply to second battles in Territory Wars or Grand Arena, because if they're dead and you go into a second battle, they just don't apply. This is only applying in extra waves, which would be like territory battles or like an assault battle, but that isn't applying right now. Okay, and that's the whole kit. Hopefully that was quick enough and you got a good idea of what this guy actually does. Let me know what you think of his kit down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.